The emergency alert sounded through the United Nations building at 3 a.m., woke in her office where she had fallen asleep reading reports. The sound meant only one thing: something bad had happened in space. She moved fast through the dark hallways. Her security team was already waiting. They walked together to the main conference room, their footsteps echoing in the early morning silence. Was 52 years old, with silver streaks in her dark hair and eyes that had seen many crises. She had been Earth's chief diplomat for 12 years. She knew how to stay calm. General Hayes was already in the conference room when she arrived. He stood by the large window that looked out over New York City. The lights of the city stretched out below them like a field of stars. Was 58, a military man to his bones. He had spent his whole life preparing for war. Tonight, he looked tired. The rest of the team filled in quickly. Scientists, military officers, political advisors. Within 5 minutes, the room was full of serious faces. General Hayes turned from the window. His voice was steady, but something was wrong. "We have visitors," he said. "They showed up about 30 minutes ago. A large ship, very large. It is sitting on the edge of our solar system. They sent a message in all known languages. They want to speak with our leader. They want to speak now." Move to the main screen. There was a ship. It was huge. Nothing like anything Earth had ever built. It was dark and angular, built for power, not beauty. She felt her heart beat faster, but her face stayed calm. "What did the message say?" she asked. A young technician spoke up. His hands were shaking slightly as he typed. The message appeared on the screen. "This is the Galactic Council. You control this planet called Earth. You have been warned before about your dangerous weapons and your violent nature. We have come to end this problem. You will give complete control of your world to us within 72 hours. You will surrender all weapons. You will accept our rule. If you refuse, we will take what we want by force. You have 3 days." The room went quiet. Most of these people had never believed aliens would actually come. They thought it was theory. They thought it was something for the future. They thought it would not happen in their time. Read the message twice. Then she looked at, their eyes met. He gave her a small nod. They had been waiting for this moment for more than 100 years. "Connect me to them," said. "I need to talk to whoever sent this message." The technician's fingers moved across the keyboard. The screen changed. A face appeared. It was not human. The being had smooth green scales and golden eyes. Its mouth was different from a human mouth. When it spoke, it did not move its lips the same way humans do. "I am Ambassador," the creature said. "I speak for the Galactic Council. You have heard our demands. Do you understand?" Moved closer to the screen, she stood up straight. Her voice was clear and strong. "I understand your message, Ambassador. I am the chief diplomat of Earth. Before Earth makes any decision, I have a question for you." His eyes moved. This was clearly not what he expected. "Ask," he said. "How many times has the Galactic Council warned Earth? How many times have you told us to stop our weapons program?" There was a pause. His golden eyes blinked. "3 times. In the last 50 years, we have warned you 3 times, he said. Felt a calm come over her. This was the moment she had been trained for her whole life. "And in those 50 years, how many times have we attacked any of your worlds?" Another pause, longer this time. "You have not attacked our worlds," said carefully. "How many weapons have we fired at your ships?" "None," said. His voice was getting harder. "Then let me tell you something," Ambassador said. Her voice was quiet, but every person in the room could hear every word. "You are making a mistake. You think Earth is weak because we have not left our planet in large numbers. You think we are dangerous because we have weapons, but you do not understand humans at all." She paused. She let the silence sit between them for a moment. "For 137 years, we have known that we were not alone in the universe. We have been preparing. Every day, every year, every decade, we have been waiting for this exact moment." On the screen's face changed. He looked less sure now. "You are bluffing," he said. Smiled. It was not a happy smile. It was the smile of someone who knows something you do not know. "Ambassador, I am not bluffing. In the next few moments, you are going to see something. Look at your instruments. Check your sensors. Look at what is happening around your ship right now." In the conference room, everyone turned to look at the main screen. They were watching Earth's detection systems. Lights were coming on. Red lights, green lights, blue lights. All over the solar system, detection markers were appearing on the map. General Hayes stepped forward. He spoke into the communication system. "Activate the network, now," he said. The screen filled with more and more lights. They covered the entire solar system. Satellite after satellite came online. Each one showed its position, its power level, its weapon systems. On the screen's face was changing. His golden eyes were wider now. He was checking something off screen. His mouth was moving, but no sound came. "What have you done?" he finally said. Leaned closer to the screen. She let him see her face clearly. She wanted him to understand that she was serious. "We have been waiting," she said. "For a very long time we have been waiting, and now you are here. You gave us 3 days, but the real question, Ambassador, is simple. How many days does the Galactic Council need to think about what it has just seen?" Behind, General Hayes was already giving orders. Weapons systems were coming online. The entire solar system was coming alive with human power. The hidden arsenal that had been built in secret for more than a century was revealing itself to the universe. For the first time in human history, Earth was no longer alone and weak. Earth was showing the galaxy what humans really were. An ambassador was finally beginning to understand his mistake. The orbital command center above Earth was 30 years old. It floated in space, hidden behind a communications cover that made it look like a simple research station. Only 5,000 people in the entire world knew it existed. Captain David had worked here for 15 years, and he loved every moment of it. When the order came to activate the network, David was ready. He had trained for this his whole life. His hands moved across the controls without hesitation. Around him, 50 officers did the same thing. They had practiced this moment 1,000 times. "Activating Layer 1 satellites," one officer called out. "Layer 1 online," David confirmed. His voice stayed calm even though his heart was racing fast. The first satellites were weapons, not missiles, something better. They were orbital platforms that could hit targets anywhere on the planet or in space with terrible accuracy. They had been built over 30 years using technology that the Galactic Council did not even know humans possessed. "Layer 2 coming online," another officer called. Layer 2 was different. These were shield generators. They created a barrier around Earth that nothing could break through. The technology came from an alien ship that had crashed in the Arctic Ocean in 1947. For 75 years, human scientists had studied that ship. They had learned how to use its power. They had learned how to build new shields using the same science. The command center hummed with activity. Every screen showed something different. Every number meant something important. David watched it all and felt the weight of responsibility. One wrong move could start a war. One right move could save all of humanity. Dr. Foster was in another command center, deep underground in what used to be called Area 51 in the Nevada desert. She was 60 years old and had spent 40 of those years building Earth's weapons systems. She was tired, but tonight she was not tired anymore. Tonight she was alive. "All manufacturing centers are reporting ready status," her assistant said. "How many ships can we put in space in the first hour?" asked. 12, the assistant said. "But doctor, we do not think we will need that many. The council ship is just one vessel." Nodded, she knew the assistant was probably right. But she had lived long enough to know that being prepared for too much was better than being prepared for too little. The 12 ships the assistant mentioned were the result of 20 years of work. They had been built in factories hidden inside mountains and under the ground. They looked simple on the outside. They looked like mining ships or cargo vessels. But inside, they were weapons of war. They were made with technology that combined what humans had learned from the alien crash with human engineering genius. The Council did not know about these ships. The Council did not know about the shields. The Council did not know about the satellite network. The Council had made the same mistake that many powerful beings make. They had not bothered to truly study humans. They had only looked at what humans had shown them. And humans had been careful to show them nothing. In orbit above Earth, the Council ship sat still. Its sensors were working hard, trying to understand what was happening. Inside that ship, aliens from 50 different species were looking at their instruments with shock. They were seeing things that should not exist. Signals were coming from deep space. Earth had more ships out there than anyone had thought. The ships were old, but they were powerful. They had been launched slowly over the last 50 years, each one hidden in the darkness of space. Now they were revealing their positions. The Council commanders called a meeting. They met on the main deck of the biggest ship. The commander was an alien named Vex. He had ruled space for 3,000 years. He had never been surprised by anything. He was surprised now. "What is this?" he demanded. "Where did these weapons come from?" One of his officers looked at the data again. "Our records show nothing, sir. This technology is new to our knowledge. It should not exist." Vex stood up. He was tall with skin that looked like metal. His voice shook the room. "Humans are supposed to be primitive. They are supposed to be children playing with toys we do not care about. How is this possible?" No one answered. They did not know the answer. Back on Earth in the command center, David watched the readings. The Council ship was moving. It was not attacking. It was not leaving. It was just sitting there trying to understand. "They are scared," one of his officers said. "No," David said quietly. "They are confused. There is a difference. Scared things often attack. Confused things try to think first." He made a decision. He opened a communication channel. "This is Captain David of Earth Defense Forces. The Galactic Council ship, please respond. I have orders from Ambassador for you." There was a pause, then a voice came back. It was not the same voice as before. This voice belonged to the commander. "I am Commander Vex of the Galactic Council. You are humans." "Yes," David said simply. "You have weapons we did not know about," Vex said. It was not a question. "We have many things you did not know about," David replied. "For very long time we have been building, we have been learning, we have been preparing." "Why did you not show us before?" Vex asked. David smiled a little, even though Vex could not see it. "Because we did not want war with the Galactic Council. We wanted to be left alone, but we are not stupid. We knew that sooner or later someone would come, someone would want what we have or want to take over our world, so we prepared." On the Council ship, Vex looked at his officers. He looked at the data on every screen. He saw the truth. These humans had been ready for this day for longer than he had thought possible. "How many ships do you have?" Vex asked. "Enough," David answered. "The real question is different, Commander. Are you here to talk or are you here to fight? Because we can do both. But only one of them will end with humans and the Galactic Council talking about peace." Vex did not answer right away. He was thinking. In 3,000 years of ruling space, he had learned one important thing. Respect comes from strength, and this strange, violent planet called Earth had just shown him something very important. Humans were much stronger than anyone had thought. And if they had wanted to attack the Council, they could have done it long ago. But they had not. That meant they wanted something different. They wanted respect. The Galactic Council chamber was very old. It had stood for 10,000 years on the planet Meridian. The building was made of crystal that glowed from within. It was beautiful and terrible at the same time. Inside, 500 council members from 50 different species gathered to discuss Earth. They were all angry, they were all confused, and for the first time in a very long time they were all worried. Commander Vex stood in the center of the chamber. His metal skin reflected the light from the crystal walls. His voice was hard and cold as he spoke. "The humans have weapons we do not understand. They have ships we did not know existed. They have technology that breaks every law of what we thought was possible. How is this happening?" A being named Morn stood up. Morn was a creature with a hard shell and many arms. He had always wanted to crush humans under the Council's power. "It does not matter," Morn said. His voice made a clicking sound as he spoke. "They have shown us their weapons, but numbers matter in war. We have 1,000 ships for everyone they have. We should attack now. We should destroy them before they can prepare further." "And what if they have more weapons we do not know about?" another voice said. This voice belonged to Ambassador. He was not so sure anymore that destroying Earth was the right answer. He had looked into the eyes of through the screen. He had heard her speak. She did not sound like someone who was bluffing or pretending. "The human diplomat told us something important," said. "She said they have been preparing for 137 years. 137 years, council members. That is longer than most of our civilizations have had contact with space. What have they been doing in all that time?" A scientist stood up. Her name was forgotten by most, but she was very smart. "I have been reviewing human history," she said. "There is something important. Approximately 140 years ago, humans found something in their Arctic region, a ship, an alien ship that crashed. They kept it secret from us. They studied it. They learned from it." The chamber went very quiet. Understanding began to dawn on the faces of the council members. They found one of our old ships, Vex said slowly. They found one of the ships from the 1,000-year darkness. Yes, the scientist said, and they have spent more than a century learning everything from that ship. They have the technology, they have made it better, they have mixed it with their own engineering. Morn made a clicking sound that meant anger. Then we should have destroyed them the moment we learned about this, he said. No, said firmly. I spoke with their diplomat. She said something very important. They have been ready to fight us for more than 100 years, but they have not attacked us. Not once. Not even when they were strong enough. What does this mean? Someone asked. Stood tall. It means they do not want war, he said. It means they want peace. They prepared weapons only to defend themselves, not to attack others. That is a very different thing. On Earth, in the United Nations building, was meeting with General Hayes. They were in a private room with no cameras and no listening devices. This was where real decisions were made. How long can we hold the shield up? Asked. 3 weeks, said. Maybe 4 if we reduce power in some areas, but we cannot hold it forever. We would need constant power from the sun itself to do that. The Council does not know that, said. They are probably thinking we can hold it for months or even years. That gives us time. Time for what? Asked. Time for them to understand what we are really trying to do, said. We do not want to destroy the Galactic Council. We just want them to see us as equals. We want them to stop telling us what to do and how to live. We want to be part of their government with a real voice. Nodded, he had known for 20 years. He trusted her. If anyone could do this, it was her. They are gathering their full council, he said. They are calling members back from all over space. In 2 days, they will have all 500 council members present. Good, said. We need an audience. We need every council member to understand what has happened here. We need them to know that they made a mistake based on assumptions that were wrong. She walked to the window. She looked out at Earth below them. Millions of people were going about their lives, not knowing that their entire future was being decided right now. The human race has always been underestimated, she said quietly. Every time in our history, people have underestimated us, but we survive, we adapt, we learn, we prepare. And when the time comes, we prove that we are stronger than anyone thought. Back in the council chamber, a new message came. It was from the human diplomat. It was text only with no video. To the Galactic Council, we do not want war, we want to talk. We want to show you that Earth is not what you think. We want to join the council, not fight it. Send someone to meet with us. Send someone you trust. We will show them that humans are not the enemy. Read the message 3 times, then he stood up again. We should listen to them, he said. I will go myself. I will meet with their diplomat. I will see what they really want. Vex looked at for a long time, then he nodded. Go, he said, but be careful. If this is a trick, if this is how they plan to attack us, then we will show them no mercy. Knew the risk, but he also knew something that the other council members did not understand yet. The human diplomat had not been bluffing. She had meant every word. When she said humanity had been waiting, she meant it. When she said they were ready, she meant it. And a species that was ready to face the entire Galactic Council with only weapons and shields was a species that had thought about this moment for a very long time. They had thought about it, and they had prepared, and now they were ready to share what they had learned. That took more courage than any attack ever could. The neutral station was built by neither humans nor the Galactic Council. It was built by traders from 1,000 years ago. It sat in empty space between the worlds of humans and the Council. It was the only place that both sides could meet with trust. Stood in the diplomatic chamber. The room had high walls and big windows that looked out into space. She could see both the human ships and the Council ship from here. They were far apart, but they were both watching this room. She was not alone. General Hayes stood to her right. He wore his military uniform with pride. James stood to her left. James was a cultural expert who had spent his entire life learning about alien species. He knew more about the Galactic Council than anyone on Earth except. When Ambassador arrived, he came alone. He had turned off his weapons and left them on his ship. He stepped into the chamber with care. His golden eyes looked at the 3 humans. He was trying to understand them. Ambassador said, he made a gesture that was greeting in his culture. I have come to understand what Earth wants. Thank you for coming, Ambassador said. She gestured to the seats in the center of the room. Please sit with us, we have much to discuss. They sat at a round table. No one was higher than anyone else. The table was built that way on purpose, had ordered the human side to prepare everything with care. Every detail meant something. First said, I want to tell you what we are not asking for. Seers moved forward. This was interesting. We do not want to rule the Galactic Council. We do not want to conquer your worlds. We do not want to take power from you. We do not even want most of your technology. We have learned to build what we need. Then what do you want? Asked. We want three things, said. First, we want the Galactic Council to recognize Earth as a sovereign planet with equal rights to all other member worlds. Second, we want a seat on the Council itself. We want to have a voice in decisions that affect the universe. Third, we want the promise that the Council will never try to rule Earth again. Never. Not in 1,000 years. Not in 1,000,000 years. General Hayes leaned forward. His voice was calm but strong. And we want you to understand something, he said. We are showing you our weapons not because we want to threaten you. We are showing you because you need to understand what we are. We are a species that does not give up. We do not surrender. We do not bow to anyone. If you try to take our world, we will fight. And we will lose, but we will fight so hard that you will remember it for 1,000 years. James spoke next. But that is not who we want to be, he said. We do not want to fight the Galactic Council. We want to work with them. We want to share what we have learned. We want to learn from you. We want to be part of something bigger than ourselves. Was quiet for a long moment. He was thinking. He was remembering his conversation with through the screen. He was understanding that these humans were not enemies. They were just people who wanted to be treated fairly. I will take your request to the Council, he said finally. But I need to understand something. You have hidden your weapons for 137 years. You have kept them secret. Why? If you wanted the Council to know your true strength, why hide it? Smiled a little. Because if we had shown our strength, you would have either tried to destroy us or tried to control us more tightly. Either way, we would not be free. We prepared in secret so that when we finally revealed ourselves, we could do it from a position of strength. We could ask for what we wanted from a place where the Council had to listen. That is smart, said. That is very smart. We have learned much from watching you, said. We have studied your history. We know how power works in the Galactic Council. We know that respect comes from strength. That is why we showed you our weapons, not to threaten you, but to make sure you would listen when we asked for our rights. Over the next 6 hours, they talked. They discussed everything. James explained human history. He told about humans who had overcome terrible odds. He told him about humans who had refused to surrender even when everything seemed impossible. He told him about humans who had built great things from nothing. General Hayes explained the human military approach. He showed the plans for the weapon systems. He explained how humans thought about defense and strategy. He showed that human thinking was different from Council thinking. Humans thought like animals that had survived in a harsh world. Humans thought about survival first. That made them very good at war if they had to fight. Explained what she wanted for Earth's future. She talked about trade with alien species. She talked about sharing knowledge. She talked about humans working together with other species to explore the universe and understand it better. I have a question, said. You had the power to attack the Council ship. Why did you not? Why did you just show your weapons and then offer to talk? Because, said simply, we are not the kind of people who kill first and ask questions later. We prepared weapons because we needed to be safe. But we did not want to use them. We wanted to find another way. We wanted to prove that humans can be strong without being evil. We wanted to show that power and mercy can exist together in the same being, in the same species. Nodded slowly. Understanding was coming to him now. I understand, he said. You are saying that true strength is not about having the biggest weapons. True strength is about knowing when to use weapons and when to offer peace instead. Yes, said. Exactly yes. When left the station to return to the Council ship, he carried something with him. He carried the knowledge that everything the Council believed about humans was wrong. He carried the understanding that humans were not simple or primitive. They were complex and wise and dangerous and good all at the same time. He also carried final message to the Galactic Council. It was written on paper, old style, because said that was more honest than electronic words. We are ready to be your partners. We are ready to join your council as equals. We are ready to stop being enemies and start being friends. But we will not bend. We will not break. We will not surrender our freedom or our world. If you can accept that, then we can build something great together. If you cannot accept that, then we will defend what is ours. The choice is yours. Back on Earth, stood with General Hayes and watched ship leave the station. Do you think they will accept? Hayes asked. Yes, said. Ambassador will convince them, because now they understand something they did not understand before. They understand that we are not a threat to them. We are an opportunity, and opportunity is something that every government, alien or human, always wants to explore. Hayes smiled. For the first time in days, he felt like maybe, just maybe, this was going to work. 3 months had passed since the Galactic Council voted to accept Earth as a member. The vote was not close. It was not even difficult. When all 500 council members understood what had done, they voted yes with a majority that shocked everyone. Even the members who were worried about humans quickly understood that Earth had just proven something important. Humans could be trusted to make peace, even when they had the power to make war. The celebrations on Earth had lasted for weeks. Every city, every country, every place where humans lived, they had celebrated. They had danced in the streets. They had cried with joy. They had finally come out of the shadows. Finally, Earth was not alone. Stood in her new office in New York City. She was Earth's official ambassador to the Galactic Council now. She had been given a huge building and a team of 200 people to help her, but right now she was alone. She was reading reports about the trade agreements that were coming. Humans would soon have access to technology that would change everything. Medicine, energy, transportation, all of it would change. A knock on the door pulled her from her thoughts. Come in, she said. General Hayes entered. He was no longer in his military uniform. He wore the suit of a government official now. He had been appointed as Earth's military advisor to the Council. He would help the Council understand how humans thought about defense and strategy. I wanted to talk to you before I go to Meridian, he said. He sat down across from her desk. How do you feel about it? Asked. Scared, said honestly. I have spent my whole life preparing for war with the Galactic Council. Now I am going to work with them. It feels strange. That is the nature of change, said. It always feels strange at first, but you will do great things, I know you will. Because of you, said. You made this happen. You saw a future that was different. You saw a way forward that did not end in death. Shook her head. No, she said. This happened because humans never give up, because we prepare, because we are willing to fight but also willing to make peace. That is what humans are. That is what I just helped the galaxy understand. In another part of Earth, on a military base in the Pacific Ocean, Captain David was training new pilots. 12 humans had been selected to join a joint military command with the Galactic Council. They would fly ships made with new technology. They would work with alien species that humans had never worked with before. It was scary and exciting all at the same time. David stood on a platform looking out at the trainees. They were young and brave and ready. They represented the future of humanity in space. They represented everything that humans could become. You are going to be the first of many, David said to them. You are going to show the galaxy what humans can do. You are going to show them that we are good pilots, good soldiers, good team members. You are going to make Earth proud. The young pilots stood tall and straight. They understood the weight of what they were being asked to do. Dr. Foster was in her laboratory looking at the plans for something new. The Galactic Council had shared technology with her. Technology that could change how humans generated energy. She was mixing it with human ideas. She was creating something that had never existed before, something better than what either humans or aliens could make alone. This is the future, she whispered to herself. This is what cooperation can do. Back in the government center, Secretary General Summers was meeting with ambassadors from many alien species. They were not representatives of the Galactic Council. They were traders. They were explorers. They had come to Earth to meet humans in person, to understand what humans were really like. One of them was asking a question. Why did your species prepare weapons for so long? The alien asked. She was a being made of crystal, beautiful and strange. Because we did not know what would happen when the universe found us, said. Because we are not a trusting species by nature. We come from a dangerous world, a harsh world. We learned long ago that preparation and strength were the only things that kept us alive. But we also learned that mercy and kindness were worth more than all the weapons in the universe. The crystal being made a sound like wind chimes. It was how she laughed. Your world must have been very hard, she said. It was, said. It made us who we are. In the council chamber on Meridian, Ambassador stood before all 500 council members. He was presenting a plan. The plan was to have humans help the council with a problem that had existed for thousands of years. There is a region of space that has been dangerous for longer than most of us have been alive, said. We have sent many ships there. Most of them have not returned. We do not know what is in that region. We do not know if it is a natural danger or a living threat, but we have not been able to solve the problem. What does this have to do with humans? Asked an old council member. Humans think differently than we do, said. They have already taught us new ways to defend ourselves. I believe they could also teach us new ways to approach this problem. I want to send a human representative to examine the data. I want them to tell us what they see that we do not see. The council voted yes. Would be sent the data. She would examine it. She would think about it in her human way. Maybe she would see something that thousands of aliens had missed. In her office in New York, received the data. She spent 3 days examining it. She looked at the patterns. She looked at what the ships had reported before they disappeared. She looked at the measurements of the radiation in that region. Then she understood something. She called a meeting with the council leadership. She explained what she had found. You are looking for an enemy, she said. You are thinking something is attacking your ships, but that is not what is happening. The ships are not being attacked. They are being pulled into something, a gravitational field, a very large and very strange gravitational field. How do you know this? Someone asked. Because I have read your data the way a human would read it, said. I have thought about it the way a human thinks. We come from a world where we learned about gravity and physics the hard way. We did not have technology given to us by other species. We had to figure out everything ourselves. So when I see these patterns, I see not an enemy. I see a natural force. I see something powerful that simply exists, something that can be studied instead of feared. Within a year, the Galactic Council had sent an expedition to that region of space. A human scientist was on that expedition. The human helped them understand what was really there. It was a phenomenon that could be studied. It could be understood. It could even be useful. Received a message from Commander Vex. The message was simple. Thank you for showing us how to think differently. Thank you for helping us understand that there are always new ways to see old problems. You have changed the Galactic Council. For the better, I believe. That evening stood on a balcony of her building. She looked out at the city below. Millions of humans were living their lives. Some of them knew that Earth had changed. Some of them did not care. But all of them had better lives now because of what had happened. A being appeared next to her. It was Ambassador. He had come to Earth to live here for a time. He wanted to understand humans in their home. You are thinking about the future, said. It was not a question. Yes, said. I am thinking about everything that is coming, all the possibilities, all the ways that humans and aliens can work together, all the things we can learn from each other. Your species is remarkable, said. When we first met you, we thought you were simple and dangerous. We were wrong on both counts. You were underestimating us, said. Many species do that. They look at Earth and see only one world. They do not see the billions of people who live there. They do not see the history, the struggle, the creativity, the will to survive. They do not see any of that until it is too late. Will it always be this way? Asked. Will other species always underestimate humans? Maybe, said, but now they will think twice. Now they will remember what happened when they tried to control Earth. They will understand that humans are not to be controlled. They are to be partnered with. They are to be respected. Below them, the lights of Earth's cities glowed. Millions of people sleeping. Millions of people dreaming. Millions of people who did not know that their world had just changed forever. But in the years to come, they would know. They would understand. They would see the new ships in the sky. They would meet aliens who came to trade and to learn. They would understand that humanity had found its place among the stars. And it had happened because one diplomat had the courage to smile when others would have trembled. Because one general had the wisdom to prepare but not to attack. Because one species had the strength to offer peace even when they had the power to take war. Humanity had found its voice in the universe. And the universe would never be the same again.